Hi, welcome back to Engine Shop Joe. Hope you all had a good week. Tonight is another case of always expect the unexpected in life. I think we all know what that's about. So this was a little B67 in an RT crane, which is a crane with rubber tires, but it runs off-road, and we don't drive it down the highway to transport it. We would put that on a big trailer and then haul to the job. So that's what it was in. When the crane's working, it doesn't use that much power, but when those cranes have to travel or move, it takes all the horsepower the engine's got. And this crane could do the job, but when they had to travel it, it couldn't travel. The engine would just bog and it didn't have any power. So they called us out, and we had all kinds of 559 faults for low fuel pressure. And of course, the first thing we do is change fuel filters. We take a look in the tank to see if there's anything in the tank. We take a look at the fuel to see if there's water in it. All of our machines have fuel water separators as primary filters, so we look at that. And everything seemed to look okay on this, so they hooked up fuel restriction on it. And it had 15 inches of fuel restriction at the inlet to the gear-driven fuel transfer pump that piggybacks on the back of the injection pump on the B67. And so we started going back. The tech took the lines off, blew all the lines out. Everything looked good. Pulled the filter out of the filter housing on the primary and made sure there wasn't any problem with check valves. That all looked good. Blew into the fittings with the filters out and the bowl up. That all looked okay. And it was doing the same thing. So I had them check fuel restriction again, and it was back up at 15. So I said, I want you to take the fittings out and look in the fittings that go into, that the fuel lines hook up to between the tank all the way to the inlet to the injection pump primary transfer pump, which is a mechanical driven transfer pump. And the fuel fitting that's on the bottom of the fuel tank, obviously we don't take that out, but we do take the line off the other side and put it in a bucket and see if it flows freely. If it flows freely with the cap off, then we know that fitting is open. So the rest of them I have them take out and blow out. And I don't have an actual picture of what he found, but I've got a simulation of what was wrong. And so here it is. So the stainless steel fitting that you see is the actual fitting that was in the inlet of the primary filter. The green that I put on there represents the hole where the fuel flows through, and the black square in the corner of the fitting where the two drillings intersect, there was a chunk of what he called crud stuck in there, and that's what was causing our restriction. So he blew that out, put it back together. The machine traveled now with the engine not lugging down or stalling. He had cleared the faults out and no faults returned. So he said, wow, I never thought I'd see that stuck up in the fitting like that. And so he learned, always expect the unexpected. See you next time on Engine Shop Joe.